working on Donatello for this one. Just got this one in for measuring. Actually, I might need to make the. I'm not gonna do that right now. That's stupid. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, I'm going to make Donnie, and I want them all to be in the same. Same measurements no matter what their stance is, so that when I put them all together it doesn't look all weird. So this is the first one that I did, outline from the first turtle I did, so that's not the pose we're going to have. But it is going to be a crouched pose, so it's going to be similar in a way. And you guys should actually be hearing me this time, right? Let's see, just double check that. Yeah. Okay, cool. So you're hearing me this time, so that's good. Last time I had a little bit of a mic issue. And I had no idea, which sucks. But now we got it all figured out, so that's good. So let's see. Need to figure out his greens real quick. Okay, so put that down here. Eventually I'm going to hide all of that. Don't need that. I will need some of these probably at some point, but I don't need them right now. I'll adjust the actual skin later. Definitely like that look to the line work. Okay. So. 100% it's going to be a very similar pose. Almost just steal from myself some of this. Because so this will be basically just using a reference. Now, I can trace this because I made this. I'm just reusing my own work. If this was another artist's work or a reference image, picture from someone, I would not just trace it. That would be bad. I don't want to do that, because then you're just kind of stealing someone's intellectual property. Kind of, it's a bad precedent. Don't do that. You can use it for reference of their pose, or like reference of their hair or whatever. Like, you could pick out parts that you like and like use those, but I would never just straight copy it, because that can end bad. And I'm going to refine that. That looks really bad right now. I'm also going to move it because this pose is going to be different than that pose. His arms are going to be in a very different position than the original. Here. Okay, so believe me, I swear, the story's not over. As I fall, I will continue to get up. I will get back. I cannot stop because it is over. Live in the moment. So this is my final piece, kind of my final individual piece in this series of Ninja Turtles, and then I'm going to put them all together in one big piece, so that'll be fun. So I'll just drag them all into one document, arrange them how I would like, and I'll put in like a more detailed background than I have for the individual pieces, so that'll be fun. I don't know if I'll do that one on a stream, but I will definitely be posting it. For sure. Okay. And we can clean that up in a different layer. It's not a big deal. Or I can just go back in and clean up this layer. I don't know. Okay, so now need to figure out the arms. So he's got a bow staff, so I kind of want to do, I can't see it in the camera, but like over his head, kind of stretched out. So let's see. Like a head. Hello. Thanks for stopping in. Hopefully you come back for another one. Trying to figure out the head. I don't know. That's not about where I like it, I guess. Okay, so this arm. I don't know if I want to go out and back like that, because I don't think it would. So let's be more almost straight off his body. Yeah. Okay. So it'd be Let's see. Okay, so that's this arm is not right. This arm is not. Okay. Now let's fix this. Like it's going to doesn't come out a little bit. I still feel like it's not going to fully be extending out. Something like that. I might actually have to like find a real reference of someone making this stance with a staff. Might be the only way I'm gonna do that arm correctly. I don't want it to look bad. Especially when all the other ones have come out so good so far. Okay, so let's real quick, let's look. Okay, real quick. Okay. So that's what I'm looking for, but not at that angle. Okay, so that leg should be different too. Okay. Basically what it comes down to is that arm needs to come up more. Be a little bit more straight. Okay, I think I can figure that one out then. All right. Where'd you go? There. Okay. Okay. So this arm needs to come like almost straight. So actually, I think I might need to adjust the canvas set again. Just to be safe. Drop it down. All right. Okay, so this is a change. All that music. this one needs to kind of disappear. Okay, so this arm is almost going to be straight. So it's going to kind of be right there. And this one is almost going to be going straight up. So let's see. All right, so it's going to be, I think, that. Now that does not look natural. Real quick, we're just going to rotate that a touch. Maybe a touch more. Okay, so that looks a little more natural, a little bit better. And then, so let's see, the staff itself, going through there, just puts it right there on that hand. And then for this leg, it's actually going to be kicking out in the opposite direction. A touch. So I think I might do. Let's see. Back. And let's mirror that layer. Let's just see. Yeah. So instead of going a little bit towards the front, actually let's stretch it a touch that way. Drop it in there. I think that looks about right. And up a touch. So those are kind of in line with each other now. Alright. So real quick, let's just kind of clean those spots up real quick. Alright. Let's just merge those. Just like shell. Belt on at some point, but for now. Alright, so I think that looks a lot better than what we had before. Like a lot better. So that's exciting. Together. Okay, so let's see. Who's actually facing? Oh yeah, the other thing. I want him facing the opposite direction than this. So image. layer. Okay. So that will be playing a part. So this top right fingers will be in this direction, with the thumb right there. Okay. Fingers in this direction. Still with the thumb right there. All right, and I will be fixing these things at some point. Actually, let's drop that there. I might just adjust the head so it's not facing totally that direction, because his body is not facing totally that direction. We'll see. I think I will, but let's see what we got. So we've got measurement layer. Let's just adjust that. So they're about the same height-wise. That's positive. What we're looking for. That's exciting. All right. Jumper Bronc, thanks for the follow. I really appreciate that. Yeah, just working on Donatello, final turtle in my series of Ninja Turtles, and then once I'm done with this one, I'll put them all together in a larger composition, and hopefully it will look awesome. That's the hope. Very exciting. So, yeah. Right now it's kind of the rough little spot in the beginning where I'm figuring out how stuff works, or should work. So that's where we're at currently. Let's see. So I want that to come in touch. Like so. Okay. Let's see. Just jump right here. Not good. Okay. Something like that, the base of that arm. I'm liking what I've got now. So now we start kind of refining what I have. fixings head to what I want. Okay, so okay, we're just gonna start a new head. Just gonna start a new one. Okay. Quick, let's just jump in here. All right, let's get in here a bit. That's too bad. So I might just bring that down. Okay. That's better. Okay. All right, so doesn't look very pretty right there, but I believe that's an improvement. We can adjust that a little bit. Right. So let's see, we got the head kind of locked in. Got the general arms where I want them. Quick, let's adjust that. Let's slide that in. Shift that a touch. I think that's a teeny bit better, a little bit more proportion. Let's see. I guess I could start trying to get these all locked down. So, I mean, that's pretty refined for my penciling, but I mean, I did start with a base of something else, so that helps me a lot. So now let's get in here and start tracing all of that. Let's hit this with a 50. Oh, no, wrong. Good. That's the one I want to be. Alright, so I just want to thank everyone who has joined me today on all of the different platforms. So I really appreciate you guys stopping by, hanging out, like, follow, come back, hang out with me some more. It's way more fun for me when I'm talking to actual people and not just empty void. Feel free to, chat. I don't bite. Ask questions. Give me feedback of, what you think should be happening. If you think that I could improve something, I don't mind tips from artists or even people who may not be artists but have a better idea of what, or an idea of a better way to do something. I am always open to learning new stuff. And honestly, everyone is an artist. Don't forget that. Everyone is an artist. May not be the same kind of stuff that I'm doing. Could be you're a poet, or you're really good at calligraphy. I am not good at calligraphy. My writing in general is pretty bad. I'm a little better at calligraphy. If I take a second, that's the bigger thing, is I'm not a very patient person. I like to be able to see the results immediately, so it can be a problem for stuff like that. But I love creating things, and always have. I've been drawing, copying, like Dragon Ball Z, since I was like 7, 8, I think, like really young. That's the kind of stuff that got me into this. Is like, oh, that looks so cool. Like, I want to draw that. So I would, like, a lot of times I would trace. I mean, I was a little kid. I was not gonna be drawing Goku and Vegeta and have them look like Goku or Vegeta, but I would trace them, and I would have a good time. So I mean, you learn by tracing and things like that. It's just, you never want to do something like that with your art that people are going to see and stuff. You never want to be accused of stealing someone's art. That's a bad day. And a good idea, if you use reference images, is if you know where they came from, which you really should. If you're using reference images, you should know where they came from, the actual source they came from. I like to use DeviantArt for a lot of, like, if I need a reference, that's the first place I go, because I know the person who posted that, it should be their content. So you can use that. I haven't posted myself on there in a long time. I really should post my art to DeviantArt again. But giving credit to reference photos you use, stuff like that is important, I think. Because, I mean, someone took the time to go out and shoot those pictures, you know? So it's fair to give them props, let people know, hey, I used this person's photo as a reference. And it's just nice to, like, if you're using it for a pose or something, like if you're using bits and pieces from like 15 different images or something like that, it's going to be a little difficult to do that. I mean, by all means, if you want to credit 15 different people on a post, I mean, that is all power to you. But at that point, nothing that you make should be looking like any of those things if you're using that many different sources. So again, that's up to you. Like, if you use one image for a pose, though, I would always consider, like, tagging that person, or like just putting it in there, like, hey, I got this pose was from this person. It's just a good courtesy to do that. But yeah, helpful tips. Yeah, and like, my biggest thing is, as an artist, I would be very upset if someone stole my work. That's what it comes down to. If someone were to steal something of yours and say that they did it, or just steal it and use it without giving you credit, like, not necessarily saying that they made that, but that they put it on something, like an album cover or something. Some band steals your really awesome, like, medieval knight riding into the sunset kind of thing for their new album cover, and just uses it. Like, they took it off Google and they just throw it on their stuff and use it. That would upset me. And fun fact, that happened to someone I know. new in my college courses. He was a little bit ahead of us, but very talented artist. A group, some metal group, I think, from like Norway or something, found his image and altered the like color a little bit and put it on their album cover. And yeah, and the problem with something like that is it's difficult to like pin down international copyright law. Not fun. So I don't know exactly what happened with that, but he did send a cease and desist letter. Whether or not they actually stopped is a totally different thing. But yeah, like that's what it comes down to as an artist. I wouldn't like that if that happened to me. So I try to avoid that kind of thing. Like 100% I use reference images in a lot of my stuff. These turtles, I haven't really used any reference images. I did look up, obviously during the stream, I looked up something for the arms, but the rest of this pose was just me, just out of my head. So it's one of those things where like I went to Google real quick and I was like, okay, so the arms, I need them to look natural. What should that look like if someone was doing that? Had I used a single image for just the whole pose, copied it, I would be putting someone's stuff down at the end of all of this. I might drop that. Yeah, I think I might extend that shell opening there, but we'll see. But yeah, so I'm glad people are enjoying hanging out with me. Yeah. Some little tips and tricks as an artist, I guess. I'm always happy to hear people's thoughts on things like that. What do you guys think about art theft, I guess, in a way, or like using things without crediting people? I know a while ago, someone who I think is an amazing artist and crazy talented, Ross Draws. I mean, he was kind of thrown under the bus for using, like, pretty much just directly copying a very obvious, like, pose picture, like, and not crediting. So, like, even, like, I mean, sometimes people get in a rush, stuff like that happens, but, like, I don't know if he ever came out and, like, expressly apologized for that. I would assume he did, but I don't know. But I like him. He's, like I said, extremely talented. He has a master course for free on YouTube, actually, that I watched, and it is really cool. And I like it. Kind of pertains to stuff that I like to do, so I watched it, and it's like I understand how he could end up in that situation from the way he works. And if you get ahead of yourself, you get a little too, like, backed up or something, you have to just knock stuff out, then very easily something like that could happen, because he kind of almost photo bashes, I guess would be kind of the term. And a lot of artists in the industry do that. I haven't, just because I haven't had a need to get something done quickly and efficiently. My stuff does not need to be done quickly and efficiently because I don't work for a company. My stuff is generally, I have a couple things to do maybe at a time, so and I let people know, like, this isn't something that's going to be done overnight unless it's expressly needed, in which case I can like put in some extra hours, but it would cost you some money. And generally people are cool with not needing stuff right away in that situation. And let's see. Yeah, but let's see. One of, like, if you guys want to like follow some cool artists, there's some really awesome ones that I've found that I really like. Let's see. Take half a second here and just throw some names down. Trent. I think I think that's wrong, the last name, but it sounds like that, Trent Kanuga. And another this dude is absolutely insane. Trent Kanuga is really cool. His work is very painterly, and I love that. I wish I could, like, I need to learn kind of that style because I really like it. I enjoy it. But that kind of comes from his time as a production, like a concept artist, I guess is the idea, for like Diablo and stuff. Like, his stuff is absolutely insanely amazing. And shoot, I have his book actually. His name is escaping me for some reason, but his stuff is almost like hyper realistic, and it's absolutely insane. Oh yeah, Dan BC. Now that I know is spelled right. So his stuff is absolutely amazing. If you like that kind of like heavy realism or like hyper realistic, it's not realistic. It's kind of a weird thing. Like, it's so realistic looking, it pushes past realism. Like, a lot of his stuff is like very sci-fi, but absolutely insane. And then Trent. And Trent Kanuga, crazy good artist, totally different style, kind of painterly. This last name is wrong. The spelling is wrong. I know that. I apologize for that. But if you put that name in, it'll get you kind of in the right direction. But those are two really, really awesome artists that I like. A lot of people don't know Dan20's. I don't know if people really know Trent Kanuga that aren't artists. I just don't know. But Dan20's, I happened to just find one day on DeviantArt back in the day, before he had a book out and stuff. By the way, his book is LMS. And it is amazing. It's a huge coffee table book, but it's set up like a scrapbook, but it's called Kill Book of a Bounty Hunter. LMS, Kill Book of a Bounty Hunter, and LMS stands for Last Man Standing. If you get a chance, check that book out, because it is, like I said, his stuff is just phenomenal. Crazy hyper realistic. It's shocking the stuff that he can do, and he's been drawing that way since he was a kid, which blows my mind. Like, he was drawing fully rendered versions of, like, I think one story I read, one interview, he told this story, like he wanted to draw like Killer Croc or something, and his father was like, okay, and he killed it, I guess. Like, his dad was shocked. He started working for like a game company out of high school. He was that good. And he's been in talks over the past couple of years trying to get like a movie rights set up for LMS, and I would go and see that movie in a heartbeat. I will tell you that, because I think that would be amazing. I would be super excited to see that. And like, what's really cool about a lot of his stuff is he puts in little like Easter eggs in these images, and like, these images are huge and extremely detailed. Like, there's details in everything. Like, none of his stuff is like that artist's trick where you like put all that detail into like the face and like parts of the figure. Like, detail is in everything that he does. Everything. It is crazy. Let's see. Yeah, and so I would suggest checking those guys out if you like art. And it might not be for you, but I really enjoy their work, so I figured I would share that with you guys. So I pretty much knocked out that outline for Donatello. I will probably change the lines on the shell at some point to be a different color, because I've done that on at least one other one, and I like that a little bit more, where the color was different for the shells. I don't know if I've done that on all of them. I might go back and do that before I do the final reveal of the huge piece with all four of them. But thanks everyone for joining me. I really appreciate you guys stopping in. Like and follow me, please. I could use it. I'm here Monday and Thursday. The streaming schedule might change at some point in the future, just because it's kind of a weird schedule. But yeah, as of right now, that's my scheduled setup time. So I hope to see you guys next time. Like I said, like, follow, please. I don't think you can subscribe on most of these platforms, because I don't have enough like followers and all that stuff. But I really appreciate everyone who stopped in. Thank you very much. And I will see you guys next time, hopefully. So, till then, I'll see you later.